This video is intended for viewers aged 13 and up. If you are not 13 yet, please leave. Hello everybody, my name's Kanohii, Mineka, and the Beast Wars are back. That's right. If you haven't heard, which I mean, if you're watching this video, you probably have because I'm a super obscure Transformers channel, or toy review channel that happens to review Transformers. The third part of the War for Cybertron trilogy, which has been a very great Transformers Generations toy line, though has been very G1-centric, is going back to the Beast Wars. And I'm honestly very excited. I'm going to try to get all the main Beast Wars cast from that first season if I'm able to. But I want to get this review out of the way because this is not a War for Cybertron Kingdom figure, as a lot of leakers have been able to get by legally dubious means. A lot of people have. A couple people have been getting those Kingdom figures way early because of legally dubious means, as previously stated. So for today, we're going to review a pre-Kingdom figure that happened to be Beast Wars from Generations before they literally refused to do anything but G1 for like 5-10 years, whatever. Not 10 years. That's an exaggeration. It's been like 5 years. This figure happens to be the Thrilling 30 Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Waspinator. Now, I personally feel I'm going to have to be a tiny bit more lenient with this figure than I usually am with Transformers, purely because this figure is a bit older compared to what I'm used to, as I only started collecting Transformers with the War for Cybertron trilogy, primarily at the tail end of Siege. I know, fake Transformers fan. Get that going in the comments. Whatever. But I was like, hey, I've got some interest in Beast Wars. Might as well get Waspinator. I saw Jobby reveal him. Waspinator. But yeah. Starting off, we have his Wasp mode, I guess. I mean, it's green, but it's got like the stinger so it's a Wasp, I guess. And it's a bit chunky and a bit kibbly. I'm gonna be honest. I like the head. I like how big the head is. That's something personally for me. I don't like the long... probably just because I've gotten used to this head, but I like the more stout, fat head because I think it just looks more goofy, and I feel like that kind of goofy look kind of fits Waspinator a bit better. I also really like the stinger. I really like how it goes with I just really like how nice this is, you know? He's obviously got his Predacon symbol, which is a nice addition to have. I feel like they could have made him a Decepticon if they really wanted to, but nope, they kept the Predacon symbol. That's good. And I really like this green paint, but this is like the only place that it is. And like, I only noticed it a little while ago, and I've owned this figure for like a good couple months. However, I will say the yellow paint is good on this figure, though it's more prominent on the robot mode than it is on the B mode, on the Wasp mode. Sorry. But whatever. I also really like the blue of the eyes. If you notice, there's some really nice blue in this eyes. It's like slightly metallic, but it's also kind of like a dark, almost indigo kind of purpley color. But I think that's very nice, you know? However, now is where things get a bit critical. This Wasp mode has a lot of kibble. And I mean, for a Beast mode, that makes sense, honestly. But I'm still going to critique it, because I've seen some really good Beast modes, especially out of Kingdom. It mostly happens when you do this. Like, these are just obviously his legs, but, like, those are a bit more excusable, I'd say, because it kind of flows pretty well, I guess, you know? But, like, it leaves the side pretty gappy. This side pretty gappy, unless I mistransformed him when I retransformed him this time. However, a bit less excusable is just these are just his arms. This is just his arms. Like, seriously? These things, just his arms. It's very noticeable, primarily due to the hands. If the hands folded away, it would be a lot less noticeable. That, and if it filled in, or at least covered up this little gappy section. But whatever. They've figured out how to do beast modes a bit better from what it looks like from Kingdom. That Dinobot. I'm gonna get that Dinobot like day one. I'm pre-ordering them. I don't usually pre-order stuff. I know that's weird for a collector to say, but I don't usually pre-order stuff. I'm pre-ordering a lot of Kingdom. And yeah. Also, one thing I will complain about, I've heard this thing breaks. Now it hasn't happened to me personally, but I've heard like these bits break, and the little arm bits seem very prone to breakage. So I'd say be careful, but it's a bit annoying that it does that. And also I kind of don't, I think these clear pieces have yellowed, which could be my fault. I could have put them in a bad place, but I'm gonna blame the figure for that. Now, I can talk a bit about gimmickry. Now, this gimmick is also on the robot mode, so I'll briefly go over it in the robot mode, but here, it's a bit more evident in the Wasp mode. He has like a bit of a trigger here right on his back, and if you press down on it, the wings flap. I think this is a very fun gimmick to just be like... I don't usually review gimmicky figures, so it's honestly really fun to just kind of mess around with the gimmick, and I think it works very well. Do I wish he had more posable wings? Yes. I hope that if they do a Kingdom version, he has posable wings, but that's neither here nor there. I guess since we're on gimmicks, I'm going to go ahead and go into the posability of the bug mode now. It is all on these legs. The front legs are on ball joints, which is a very nice addition. I really like how they are on ball joints. It allows you to get a nice range of posability with them. These back things are on a single mushroom peg. This is a bit less usable, but it's able to get him, I guess, down and up if you want to, but like not as much up because the stinger gets in the way. And you kind of got to use this stinger as like a third or like a seventh leg, I guess, in this case. Purely because balance, that's how things are. These are very spindly legs, but they do hold them up surprisingly well, honestly, where they can. But due to the massive weight on the butt, it tends to fall back down. And finally, the wings, they are on ball joints, but they don't. But the hinge up and down is dominated by the gimmick. Now, I didn't really go into accessories in this mode, purely because the only real accessory that I can talk about is comic. The specific release that I got came with a comic. It's one of the Thrilling 30s gimmicks. I like that. I think it's a good way to get people into the IDW comics, and it's a nice little freebie. But whatever. I think it's like a Dark Cybertron filler arc, I think. You know? It's just like, oh yeah, Waspinator's telling a story, look, you're all your G1 characters. And at least Waspinator plays a decent role in this, because I'm pretty sure he played a decent role in Dark Cybertron too. I think this is Dark Cybertron. Yeah, it says Dark Cybertron here on this one. Who needs a comic right now? Ugh. However, with that, let's get into the reason why I purchased this figure. The robot mode, because this is a very nice robot mode, and I hope you are able to enjoy it. But in order to get to that robot mode, we have to transform him. And to be honest, this transformation is a little bit fiddly. So to start off, I like to unpeg the arms from these ports. These ports are very strong. I feel like it does a good job of latching things together, but these ones here are very weak. It also, because like there are these little round pegs around the back of his arms, they go in there very shallow, not really even a good connection. From there, you want to unpeg the feet from the bottom, from these pegs under his head here, and I guess just get him out of the way. You know what, let's deal with the legs here, the next step. With the legs, when you've got them in this awkward pose, I'm going to move the wings back so it's a bit more visible. You're going to want to arch back the bug bit, which is on a nice strong joint. It's only got 2 positions, but it's fine. You're going to want to hinge this up, swivel it around, and place it onto the crotch. From there, you just straighten out the legs, straighten out the feet, make sure you fold it in half so that you're able to get a good footing. Do that with both legs, I guess. And then move the bug legs to the sides of his legs, and there you have Waspinator's legs. Real quick here with the arms, you're able to fold up his legs that are attached to the arms, and then you're going to want to do a bit of hinging. So what you're going to want to do is hinge this bit basically entirely down. And then you're also going to want to press it back a bit so that it essentially folds into place. And then there's also a peg hole right there, and that does reveal the head, but let's swivel it around so we can have a dramatic head reveal, because I like dramatic head reveals. Let me have my dramatic head reveals. And this peg can be a bit annoying, but what you're going to want to do with it is you're going to want to fold open the arms. So to do that, you're going to want to do that, and you're going to want to push, which has a nice automorph gimmick. I kind of miss automorph a bit, and that should be able to plug it in, but this is a bit fiddly, so just kind of fiddle with it until it's as secure as you feel like it needs to be. Buzz, buzz, get it? Bee puns, ha ha. From there, if you chose to set it up for a dramatic head reveal, do your dramatic head reveal, like so, and there you have Waspinator's robot mode. And in all honesty, I feel like this robot mode is very nice. So to start off at the head is painted pretty well. I'm pretty sure these mandibles are supposed to be painted yellow. That's one thing that's missing. If we zoom in here. The mandibles here, get these scissors as a pointer. These mandibles are supposed to be painted yellow if the comic is said to be anything. And, is there anything else? The eyes are supposed to be purple too, but I feel like I do like this kind of ugly, buggy kind of thing. I do wish they were colored in like these ones though a bit, but that bit allows for, if I screw up my lighting, light piping. I think that's a very nice feature. I like that some of the Siege and Earthrise stuff is bringing back the light piping that we all desire. Again, the chest has the same very nice painting as the bug head originally had, and I do really like how it splits. I like the automorph gimmick. I'm kind of scared that it'll lose its automorphability with time, but for now it works very well. When you're getting it new, it works very well. So yeah, I do really like it. However, I do feel like there is a bit of a lack of paint. Probably that's just me being spoiled from Siege, but like here, I feel like they could have done a bit of panel lining just to add a little bit of detail. I don't know. This is just nice, I've noticed. Here I'm going to move on to the back because there's minimal back package. Of course, it's just the wing pack, but that's purely so that we can flap his wings if you get in a position. It's a bit. I feel like it's a bit more awkward in bug mode. I mean robot mode than in bug mode, but I don't think you're going to be using it too much in robot mode. As a collector person, whatever. Moving on to the arms, they're serviceable. I wish these upper arms had more paint again, but honestly, Hasbro's gotten a bit better at painting their Transformers. But the lower arms, I really like the yellow. Yellow is a pretty hard color to pull off, and I do feel like there might be a little bit of bleeding. It kind of feels like there's a little bit of bleeding, but I can't really notice it. But I feel like this yellow paint is done very well. Like, all of the yellow paint on this figure, where it is used sparingly, is done very well. And I feel like that's pretty commendable of him, you know? Moving on to the lower legs, I do like the bee striping. This is just a nice little fun detail, you know? And it's purely because of the way it transforms. It might have been on the original, I don't know. And then the lower legs, very similar to the lower arms, but in, like, this green, there's, like, 3 shades of green. There's, like, a dark green, there's a light green, and there's, like, a spring green, as I'm gonna call it. I do like that they were able to use a bunch of different shades of green. It really helps to diversify the figure a bit, you know, helps spice it up, even though he has, like, barely any paint on him. But yeah, moving back to these lower legs, once again, nice painted yellow, but overall there is minimal painting. There's this little bit of dark green paint here, which is also seen on the back. But once again, that dark green paint is very minimal. I kind of wish it was used a bit more as a highlight color. Very nice. And then these feet, they're fine. That's all I can really say about the feet. They're feet. They're feet. They're feet. Unlike the last bit, I can actually say that this guy has an accessory. So if we move on to this big bad bug butt, you're able to remove the stinger. It's honestly a bit hard and tight, but I think it's not so much because it's tight, it's just because it's got a very awkward grip. So I'd say hold it by here and wiggle it up until you get it loose. Don't pull up on it because I'm scared that the clear plastic will break. From there, you want to fold it out like so, and you have a nice bug blaster. Or stinger gun, ray gun, I don't know. I do like how it looks. It's very nice. I do like the sharp bit here. I do like this. I kind of wish this was painted in like a stinger color, but I guess that would have diminished the effect of it being like a cool bug gun, laser gun. But it's fine. It is fine. I'll say that much. It's fine. And then in order to put it in Waspinator's hands, it's just like a simple 5mm port. You just put it in, and boom. I think he does look really good holding this thing. But yeah, I do like the gun. It's a serviceable gun, but that's really all the accessories he comes with. So yeah. As per usual, right after accessories, we get to move on to articulation. So for this guy, at the head, it's not as good as Siege stuff, I'll say that much, but like this was released 5 years ago, so it's serviceable. The head is on a ball joint that allows him to look all the way around. It allows him to look a little bit of tilting up very far, which is very good for a flying character. Doesn't really look down all that much, and then, yeah, head swivel, as with most ball joints. There isn't really a butterfly, but like he is able to do a bit of shimmy, but that's just because this bit's loose. It's not really any articulation. His shoulders are on ball joints, which will allow him to go out that far and swivel all the way around. And his lower arms are also on ball joints, which allows them to swivel around and hinge up and down, as per usual. And his hands, which is honestly a bit surprising for figures of this era, are on mushroom pegs that allow them to swivel around. I like that these are on mushroom pegs, but I don't really like that the arms are ball joints. I feel like you shouldn't use ball joints for arms, if that makes sense. Looking down at his crotch. Sadly, there is no waist swivel. If you try to do it on pug, I guess there's this, but like it pegs in to stop that kind of motion from going. The hips are also on ball joints, which allow them to get out very far, way more than necessary. Allows them to go forward that far and back that far. I don't really like ball joints because they do feel a bit loose and they can easily pop off. But I guess for Waspinator, that works as like in his favor, I guess, because he does break a bit. So yeah, just pop that ball joint right back on and let's continue the articulation. The knees aren't great. Like, they're only able to go that far. And it's especially annoying since due to the transformation going the other way, he's able to do the full 90-degree kick. So I mean, I guess if you wanted, you could swap the legs, you know, and then swap them back for transformation. But then again, that makes the feet backwards, and it's like, ugh. And thanks to the transformation joints, the back of the foot's able to hinge forward and back, and the front of the foot's able to hinge forward and back independently, which I guess can help him with walking backwards poses, or like for like these poses, but he doesn't have an ankle tilt. Ugh. That just makes, not having an ankle tilt just makes his poses just look unnatural when he's trying to do a crazy A stance. So I usually just put him like this, just put it in his hand, and yeah, zoom in so you can get a good Waspinator shot. So yeah, the articulation on this guy is serviceable. It's nothing crazy special, nothing crazy good, but it's fine. It works. It's fine. And I guess that's all you can ask for from a Waspinator figure from 5 years ago, because articulation's moved past this point. Now to get the camera to a more neutral stance for the sake of size comparisons, this Deluxe Waspinator measures out to be about, like, 5 and I'd say, 5.5 to 5 3/4 inches to the top of his head, which is fine. It's a Deluxe class. Average size for Deluxe classes of his era. And to compare him to some other figures, here we have the Marvel Legends Con exclusive Logan, a Marvel Legends AIM Soldier, the Marvel Legends Mark 7 Iron Man, the Black Series, the Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime, the Studio Series Deluxe Class Off-Road Bumblebee. Get it? Because they're both bees. You get the joke? I think you get the joke. My previous review, the Beskar Armor Mandalorian and the Child. And finally, the Leader Class Monkey Not Truck Optimal Optimus from Power of the Planets. So is this a good figure? Yeah. I would say yes. Does he need an update? Probably. The Siege articulation is really good. The Siege stuff is really good. And this guy would really benefit from certain quality of life things that Siege and Earthrise have been able to implement if he gets implemented as a deluxe in the Kingdom line. So I think that would be really cool, but hey, I got this review out there just in case they don't. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. You know, I haven't been making as many videos, but that's just because I've had school. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and Mando, get over here, we got him! Ha! Ha-ha, Waspinator, we finally got you. I guess I'm getting part of the bounty then. Where are they? Waspinator doesn't know who you're talking about. You know who we're talking about. Your little motley crew of pirates. Who? You know, the Seacons. Who? The Seacons, a group of intergalactic transforming Predacon pirate people. Yeah, I'm still lost. From Beast Wars 2nd? Who? From Japan? Oh. Anyways, where in the world are they, Waspinator? I don't know. They just left me here. I don't know why. I don't get it. I'm sorry, you bounty hunter. If you don't tell me, I'm going to kill you. And go. Oh man, we're screwed.
타거라 너나 토라 No no カメカメコーラ自慢のぶちかま